If the defendant wishes to challenge the reliability of the dog, he can do so by using the performance records of the dog or other evidence such as expert testimony. If we turn to the facts of the case, however, the state provided little information about the nature of Randy's training. In the few records he kept of Randy's training provided little objective data, presented no evidence for the frequency of false alerts, or to presented no qualification by qualified
counsel. How much more information would have been sufficient in this case?
With all due respect, Your Honor, any information that allows the defense to make a valid case as to why Randy does not meet the constitutional definition of not just certification, but well certification is allowed under due process by the defense to be used in the trial. The state failed to disclose that information, and that's why they violated the 14th Amendment rights.
Counsel, going back to my original question, I'm just not seeing how you believe that being as a trial court ruled in favor of the state, what has changed that made the other courts rule in your favor?
Yes, Your Honor. Like the reason why the lower courts ruled in favor of the state was exactly because the defense was not able to challenge under a probable cause hearing the reliability of the specific dog in question, because they simply did not have the grounds and the information to make that valid argument as to why that was the case. And that's where the upper courts were able to find that because the state did not disclose that information, it was impossible for the defense to make a very coherent defense in favor of Rufus Yakimar.
What would you say is the minimum that a state would have to put on to show that the dog is qualified to
with all respect, Your Honor, I think if you turn to Illinois v. Caballas, the court ruled that a dog needs to be well-trained, a narcotics detection dog, not just trained.
Right, but what does well-trained mean? Besides trained.
Under like federalism, right, the federal government has not set a universal standard for what it means to be well-trained. It definitely depends on like if it's different on a state level. However, the defense always has the right to gain as much information as they want to be able to challenge the reliability of the dog in the first place. Because just to
the dog, the defense always in the case challenged, since they have a biased kind of mindset.
I was just going to previous clarify.
Well, in a sense, there's no standard clear said. Couldn't the defense always want to challenge if they have a biased view?
With all respect, Your Honor, I think the defense is always in the right to challenge the reliability of any witness or anything used against their client.
Certainly. So you're asking for this court to consider making a standard today in any fashion?
No, absolutely not, Your Honor. With all respect, I just asked the court to reaffirm the idea that the state, under due process, has to disclose all the information that allows the defense to uphold the right of Rufus Yakimar to confront their accuser or any witnesses used against it.
Excuse me, counsel. It seems like you're holding this standard of public policy and you go to higher scrutiny than what it really is. If we're correct, all the state has to do is prove proficiency, right?
With all due respect, Your Honor, like the court has already ruled that in the discussion of whether the dog is proficient, all information as to like the process of getting that proficiency is up to discussion. But the state failed to provide that information, so the defense was not able to inquire as to why the process that supposedly and allegedly certified the dog actually, in fact, certified the dog and meet our constitutional standards.
Counsel, for this, as your opposing counsel said, Alter County would be perhaps the most qualified person to credify Randy in this case, as opposed to justices here. How would you respond to that?
With all due respect, Your Honor, if you turn to the facts of the case, Officer Trent completely conceded that Randy can pick up residual odors of illegal drugs or objects. For example, someone has the door on his or her hand and touches the door handle. Now, if we turn to U.S. Car, as much as yes, Your Honor.
You said that Randy can pick up residual odors, but isn't it true that all drug dogs can pick up residual odors?
With all due respect, Your Honor, that's what Officer Trent conceded to, and that's why in U.S. Car, the court acknowledged that 80% of all occurrences contains drug residue, and that's why it's necessary, because there could be so many false alerts that we need to understand whether the certification was in fact a certification and whether it meets our constitutional standards. The defense never had an opportunity to determine whether that was the case or not.